Hey guys! So, someone had asked me to do this, and I was asked again to do it today, so we're gonna do this. And this is go through my music collection. And as it turns out, I kind of need to move it from the original box into this box here, because this one's a lot bigger and I'm running out of room. So this will kill two birds with one stone. So I'm just gonna quickly go through each one, make comments on the edition if I have one, and yeah. So the first thing is the second volume of the Bach Sonatas with the International Edition. Don't buy that one. It's edited, it's kind of terrible. I only really have it because it has some markings that I'm using still. Next is the other edition I have of the Bach Sonatas, which also is in 2 volumes. I have both volumes, and it's a little Piper edition. It's also still a little weird, but it's a lot better. Second half. Bach Partita, Barber Canzone, which is a really little piece I did in a recital ages ago. And then we get into all of the excerpt books. I keep them all together, although not all of them are written by Baxtresser, but I file them where they would be alphabetically as Baxtresser. So, piano part for the solo book, the 3 versions of the... the 3 editions of the 3 volumes of the duos book, which is first flute, second flute, and alto, I believe. Yeah. Which is a really helpful book because it has some second excerpts in it. The opera excerpt book, and then the piccolo excerpt book. For those of you who don't know what these books are, they're a really great edited compilation of excerpts for flute and all of the different versions of flute. They're really expensive. I asked for them for Christmas over the past 5 years, but they're really, really good. And if you're planning to go into if you're planning to be a music major and you're planning to be a professional musician, you really should start investing in them. Buy the Baxtresser excerpt book first. It lives in my flute bag. It is dying slowly. But, yeah. Then we have Carmen Fantasy. I hate that piece a lot. But Image, the reduced edition of the Carnival of Venice. I don't know why I don't have the full edition, but I do. Burton Sonatina, Copeland Duo, and The Strange and Unknown Flowers, which is a solo piece I had to do for a competition ages ago. Kinda terrible. Debussy Syrinx, 2 editions of Griffith's poem, and that is not because I need to, it's because the first one is so marked up that I just had to buy another one because I couldn't read it anymore. The Handel sonatas, which I have played like one of, but I own them apparently. Hindemith Acht Stücke, Honegger Dans la Chèvre, Hugh Fantasy, a piece that my friend in undergrad wrote that I premiered probably 4 years ago now. Chandelinos, the Bear Concerto. Also, remember that the French editions are super expensive, and you have to buy them, and it's obnoxious, and the Bear Concerto can run you up to $70, and I'm really sorry about it. Lieberman Concerto, Lieberman Sonata, Martin Ballade, Mer Noire, which is like one of my favorite pieces in the repertoire. The Flute de Pan, but only the flute part. I don't know where the piano part went. Ruchinsky Sonata, Nielsen Concerto, and we'll see if this actually fits in... Ha! Yes, it does! It didn't fit in my old one, so it's been floating around since I learned it last year, and it's really annoying. Poulenc Sonata, only the flute part for the Prokofiev Sonata, because that makes so much sense. Quantz Concerto in G major, Reinecke Undine, Reinecke Concerto, Rouse Flute Concerto, Saint-Saëns Air de Ballet, Cinquante, which is a piece I really should perform. I know it, but I've never performed it. Schubert Theme and Variations, something someone sent me once, Concerto Classico by Joel Eric Subin. I've never played it. Apparently my parents know this person. Taktakshvili Sonata, and Vidor Suite. Keep in mind that there are a bunch of things missing, and because I am playing them for my recital, and once I'm done with them, they will go back. So that is all my solo rep, at least that isn't in compilations. And then we get into my compilations. So there's the weird Bach Etude book that also has, like, both Mozart, all 3 Mozart concertos and a bunch of other random stuff, like the Vidor Suite. It's a really weird book. I've had it for ages. I don't understand. There's 2, like, really little kid, solo compilations. The concert and contest compilation, and then one that's literally just called Flute Solos. I don't exactly know why I have them with me, but I do. The French book, which, again, is another thing that if you have any interest in being a flute major, you should own. That is not nearly as expensive as a lot of the other ones, so keep that in mind. And then you finally get into etudes. I'm carrying around some again, so if you feel like I'm missing some, aka T&G, it's because it's in my bag. Baker Daily Exercises, these are fantastic, no one knows about them, they're all about they're all modal scales and stuff like that. You should really, really know them if you don't, because they're pretty cool. Biche Etudes, these are super hard and super obnoxious, but they're really good for you. Hughes 40 Studies, I don't know why I own this, but I do. Cargalic Caprices, self-explanatory. The piano part for the Maurice, yeah. The Maurice Tone Development Through Interpretation book has a piano part, and it was loose. But this is a weird book. It's a lot of opera arias, and they're meant to help you develop tone. Imagine that. Piazzolla Tango Etudes, which I think are misfiled alphabetically, but I don't really care. Just Volume 2 of the Melodious and Progressive Studies. Who knows where Volume 1 went? The Makar Daily Exercises, which are really good technique, and the Reichert 7 Daily Exercises. My De La Sonorité and my T&G live in my bag, and I use these every so often, but not very often. The Patricia George Flute Spa thing, which apparently I'm keeping. The Michel Debost, The Simple Flute book, which I have because instead of asking me to pay for a lesson, he just asked me to buy the book. Whatever. And then we get a bunch of loose stuff, I think. So this is full of things that I got at Swanee Summer Music Festival. Just notes and things that Patricia George gave me. The entirety of the second concert of my last year of CYO, which was all TV themes, which I think is why I kept it. The second year I was in CYO, I kept a lot of my music from that, apparently. This is mostly excerpts and random things like that. Photocopies that I wanted to keep around. Flute parts. Oh, there's the entire Carnival of Venice. Pieces I've played for composers that I kept. The C.P. Bach solo sonata, because I got it online. Some random Britain song I played. Brandenburg 2. Schumann 3 Romances, which is a transcription. And then photocopies from things. And then stuff from Orford. The pieces that I played last summer at Orford. I try to keep things that I premiered and stuff like that because sometimes people ask me to play them again. And then this last one is quintet music, mostly. Yeah. So the Leitza quartet that I played ages ago. Rob Ford the Opera. because that's a thing I did. The Etude Quintet, a piece I did for Contemporary Music Ensemble, another piece I premiered for a composer in Toronto, some stuff from Contemporary Music Ensemble, just random stuff that I kept. I really should start doing that again, but I haven't. There's a few programs in here, and then the copy of Oh the Places You'll Go that my friend gave me, that was signed by a lot of my classmates and people I lived with, people I really loved in Toronto. They all wrote me really lovely notes, and the idea was that I could take it with me wherever I went and have a little bit of Toronto and my family there with me, which is super sweet, and so I keep it with my music because that way it always comes with me. What I have in my bag right now is the Franck Sonata, the C.P. Bach Hamburger Sonata, Takemitsu Voice, and Landscape with Birds, which is a Latvian piece I had never heard of until now, so don't feel bad if you don't. I also have T&G, the Baxtresser solo flute book, De la Sonorité, the Anderson Opus 15, and some chamber stuff, it looks like. Yeah. So that is my music collection so far. I hope this was somewhat interesting, and I will see you guys next week.